friends. Today we have rare footage from the Ukrainian front. This video was shared by the soldiers of the Repelling Brigade, showing how they managed to repel a powerful mechanized assault. The enemy tried to break through with numbers and pressure, but the Ukrainian defenders were ready. The coordinated actions of the 4th Battalion Freedom Forces turned the attack into a complete failure. Artillery fire, precise aerial drops, and FPV drones rained down on the assault column. As a result, enemy vehicles were destroyed, infantry suffered heavy losses, and the assault collapsed before it could even reach the positions. Ukrainian defenders held their ground and proved once again, no pressure can break their defense. And now, footage from the soldiers of the 15th Separate Artillery Reconnaissance Brigade Black Forest. What you're about to see is a rare and very expensive target, a Russian Buk-M2 air defense system on the Eastern Front. The missile didn't even need a direct hit. Landing nearby was enough to set off a chain reaction. The shockwave and flying debris ignited the ammunition, triggering a massive detonation. Flames and explosions consumed the launcher, worth around $25 million. This system will never return to service. One less book for the enemy, and another clear example of the accuracy and effectiveness of Ukrainian artillery reconnaissance. And now, true legend, footage preserved by a Ukrainian Marine aerial scout from the 36th Separate Marine Brigade, call sign Kriegsforscher, dating back to the fall of 2022. Back then, drones were a rarity, and armored vehicles rolled into battle without the cage armor we see so often today. During the Kharkiv counteroffensive, the camera captures a Ukrainian BTR-4, nicknamed Bucephalus, firing at enemy positions. Suddenly, a Russian T-80BV tank with an infantry squad enters the scene. They thought they were coming to support their comrades. Instead, they drove straight into the line of fire. The Ukrainian Bucephalus unleashed a deadly response. Panic erupted, some of the Russian troops fled, while others remained next to the burning tank forever. This footage stands as a vivid reminder of how Ukrainian defenders shattered the enemy's plans and pushed forward in the liberation of Kharkiv. Last breath by the Sia. This footage was captured by a drone operator from the 414th UAV Brigade, Madyar's Birds. The video shows a Russian occupier in the crosshairs, and moments later, a powerful explosion. The drone strikes with precision and no mercy. A bright flash and shockwave bring the story to an end. This is not just footage, but a reminder. Ukrainian eyes in the sky see everything, and every occupier in this war will face their final breath. Drone operators of the 33rd Separate Mechanized Brigade spotted a Russian IFV moving forward, preparing to assault Ukrainian positions. The vehicle advanced confidently, expecting to support its infantry, but its mission ended abruptly. The UAV guided its munition precisely onto the target. Moments later, a fiery explosion erupted across the battlefield. The enemy vehicle was consumed in a catastrophic detonation. The blast was so powerful that the IFV was torn apart, leaving only burning wreckage scattered on the ground. This footage is another clear reminder. On the front line, every piece of enemy equipment is under the eyes of Ukrainian drones and can be destroyed at any moment. Soldiers of the Ivan Franko group share unique footage of a large-scale mechanized assault repelled against the positions of the 79th Air Assault Brigade near Prorozmalinivka. This footage lets us follow, step by step, how the battle unfolded. Russian command deployed fresh forces here. The 155th Marine Brigade from the Kursk region, one of their so-called elite units, considered an assault force in Moscow. Their plan was clear: a mass strike to break through Ukrainian defenses, seize strongpoints, and create a foothold for further advances. An armored column rolled onto the battlefield, with infantry moving in behind. The vehicles pushed forward, kicking up clouds of dust, seemingly convinced that resistance would would be crushed. But the Ukrainian paratroopers were ready. As soon as the assault closed in, it was met with heavy fire. The first artillery strikes and precise drone attacks slowed the advance. Then anti-tank weapons came into play, and one by one, enemy vehicles burst into flames. The turning point came with HIMARS. Several rockets slammed into the cluster of armored vehicles, and within seconds, multiple machines were engulfed in towering fireballs. Ammunition detonated, filling the battlefield with shockwaves and smoke, shattering enemy morale. Deprived of armored cover, the Russian infantry was left exposed in the open. Some tried to scatter, others to retreat, but Ukrainian fire cut them down. Losses mounted with every passing moment, and the assault collapsed. The result was disastrous for the Russian Marines. 7 armored vehicles destroyed, some by HIMARS, and at least half a company of troops lost. Instead of a breakthrough, they suffered a fiery defeat and were forced to fall back. This footage is a vivid reminder that numbers and armor alone don't guarantee success. The real advantage on the battlefield is professionalism, coordination, and determination. And that is exactly what the 79th Air Assault Brigade demonstrated, once again breaking the enemy's most ambitious plans. The next footage comes from the Donetsk region. Here, a Ukrainian kamikaze drone spots its target, a vehicle carrying 10 Russian occupiers. The drone dives straight into the truck, and the explosion is devastating, ending everything in an instant. This strike was carried out by the Dovebush Hornets UAV battalion of the 68th Separate Jaeger Brigade. One precise hit, and an entire enemy group is eliminated. In this footage, a Russian soldier chooses a pipe as what he thinks is a safe hiding spot. What he doesn't realize is that he is already being watched from above by a Ukrainian drone. Moments later, an FPV drone begins its attack. The camera captures it as it slowly approaches the entrance of the pipe. Then comes the strike, a precise, deadly hit that turns the hiding place into a trap. This is the skillful work of the UAV Systems Battalion of the 63rd Brigade, another clear demonstration of their mastery and precision. Burning out enemy positions point blank. Footage from tank crews captured directly on GoPro. The events unfold in one of the settlements on the Lyman front. Here, the 3rd Army Corps is in action, and the mission of the tanks from the 3rd Assault Brigade is to eliminate occupiers entrenched inside buildings. Several precise shots from the tank guns reduce enemy strongholds to rubble. Even after being hit by a Russian FPV drone, the armored vehicle keeps moving, maintaining combat readiness. Footage from inside the cabin and from drones in the sky shows the fighters of the 3rd Tank Battalion at work, a raw and vivid demonstration of how assault units methodically burn out enemy positions. This footage shows the destruction of enemy artillery on the Kramatorsk front. Units of the 5th Assault Brigade carried out a well-coordinated and precise operation. Reconnaissance drones first identified the enemy's artillery positions. The camera captures the occupiers' crews trying to camouflage themselves, but to no avail. Moments later, the strike team moves in. Accurate fire hits the target, and the enemy's guns are blown apart. Explosions, smoke, and flying debris prove the artillery has been completely neutralized. This operation highlights the skill and coordination of the 5th Assault Brigade. Every step calculated, every strike decisive. The footage makes it clear, Ukrainian forces are systematically eliminating the enemy's ability to fire back. In this footage, a Russian motorbike with a passenger speeds across an open field, straight into a mine. The outcome is swift and inevitable. A powerful blast ends their ride in an instant. It's clear this location has claimed many before them, yet commanders keep sending more. The cycle goes on, a grim conveyor of the dead and maimed. In Crimea, Ukrainian special forces destroyed 2 enemy air defense assets. A podlet radar and a Nebo-M module were taken out. The latter was struck while on the move, as Russian crews were leaving their position. Equipment worth millions was reduced to burning wreckage. This was the final episode of today's video. Before we say goodbye, I'd like to remind you that the full version, which we didn't show here, can be found via the link in the description. Thank you for watching and see you in the next episodes.